I wanted to show y'all this here, guys, where we've unrolled all of this hay. Wanted to show y'all kind of what we've done with it. We unrolled it backwards. That's something we like to do in some places. If we want to do some really tight, aggressive mobbing in the wintertime, then we'll unroll it forward because you're getting more impact in that one spot. But if you want to get better spread, sometimes you want better spread for several reasons. One, you spread out your cattle's impact on wet ground, okay? If you sit there and beat up this wet ground too much, you can encourage weed growth, okay? Now, where we're at right now, we're actually on our side. This has all been clear cut, so there's not any, we're not concerned. There's already a lot of weeds and there's not a lot of summer grass. But our reason on this side for spreading it out so much is to spread seed, because there's not a lot of summer seed over here. This was a Bahia bale, okay? Bahia grass is native to our area. So we've unrolled it all the way across the top of this hill right in here. We unrolled it all the way up in there, just all the way around, everywhere. And you can tell here the difference there. Now each bale is going to be different. Some bales will unroll faster even if you do unroll them forward or in reverse. But I wanted to show you the differences here. Okay, I'm still unrolling in reverse. You can tell I went up and came back around. So we're thinner here and then we're thicker here. If I go down and show you there, you can see just how much thicker that whole roll is. All right, it's unrolled thicker, and all I did here was I bumped it up a gear. All right, this is faster. So even when you're in reverse, if you get to a spot where you want to put out more hay, you want to unroll it faster, you can just speed up some, okay, and increase that. Or if you're wanting to put out more, you're wanting to get a larger spread, you can tell this is really thin. So what's this doing? What's the point in spreading it out this thin? Well, you're getting, well, for one, if you got a lot of cattle and you're just wanting to feed with one bale, then that's fine. If you got three, you could feed 300 head of cattle this way and they'd still spread out. They wouldn't get too tight, okay? But the reason I'm doing it is because there's a lot of seed in this bale. I specifically went and bought some of my bales after they were headed out. I wanted some seed. I wanted some hay that had some seed in there, okay? And the reason was because I wanted to seed this property over here, okay? Your protein is not going to be as good. The hay itself is not going to be as good once it's headed out. But if you can get some like that, it's a lot cheaper seed, and you can feed those bales along with some good bales here and there, okay? So by unrolling it backwards and going slow right here, I have just absolutely, I mean, I'm all up on that hill, all the way over in here. I am just spreading out hay all back in there, just everywhere. I've got hay. And then yesterday, I went all down in there, all across the bottom of this hill. And the reason I'm spreading like this, like if you look over here, notice that I'm not tightly going right up against it like that, okay? One reason is to keep them from stepping on their own hay and pooping right back into their next meal, all right? But the other reason is, if this starts to seed, like say I run out of hay, or I stop having to feed hay, and I haven't spread my whole property, okay? If I am growing a strip of good grass here and a strip of good grass there, and then just whatever else in the middle, those will put their own seeds. Those will drop their own seeds on each side. They will wash seed downward. But the main thing is you're going to have droppings of seed coming from there. So if I put them up close, I'm not getting as good of a, it's not going to be as good in several years from now. So I'm trying to get, you know, we're just trying to slowly seed this as best we can. And I'm not saying we're not going to come in here and plant some other seeds. We may do that. But we're trying to get as much of this as we can. You know, we like a diverse pasture with all sorts of different seeds, and it's a lot cheaper to seed this with hay than it is anything else. But of course, you're also getting all of your carbon and all like that. But by spreading it out like that, you're getting it to drop its own seeds later on, like across, you know, and cross the seeds that way. But also, if I come in here and clip this, like say I come in here, you're spread about this far apart, and you know, if I were to take my brush hog and go right over the center of all, like just imagine the grass coming up right in the middle, okay? Just imagine the, you know, if the summer grass is growing there and then you've got everything else here, okay? And I brush hog right in the middle, well, what am I doing? I'm spreading summer grass seeds to both sides. So that's probably what I'll do is I'll let this intentionally head out this summer. Like I won't graze them when I might normally would. I'll skip this pasture, okay? And I'll let this head out and get to a nice seed head. And then I'll come in and I'll clip it. I'll brush hog over it, okay? I'll re-tenderize my grass, but I'm chunking seed all over here into the middle, okay? So basically with a lot less bales, I'm seeding everything. I'm essentially seeding everything for a lot less bales and way less seed. Thank you so much for watching this video, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell if you like farming.